welcome back to TCS Start Frogs. My name is Travis, and today I'd like to take you on a tour of my frog room. It's been a little over a month since I did my last frog room tour, so a couple things have changed, and I'll just give you a quick rundown of what's going on. Also, thanks to all my Instagram followers. I just reached 5,000 followers, so I'll probably be doing a plant package giveaway, so stay tuned for that, and let's get started with this frog room tour. Here we are in my living room. This is the Veradero imitator tank. These guys hide quite a bit this time of day. And up above that, I've got my redhead histrionica tank. These guys also hide quite a bit during the day. I think they've got some tadpoles in there right now. And over here, I've got my bullseye histrionica. And they seem to be hiding also. And over here I have one of my pairs of red lamani, and I believe they've got tads in there right now too, but they're also a little bit shy, kind of midday. I love these jewel orchids that are in this tank. They're growing really well in there. Even though there's barely any substrate in there, it's pretty much just leaf litter. And over here I've got a pair of bastamentos. And here in my bedroom, this is the second pair of red lamani that I've got. You can see one there in the back. And this is the other one. And they've got at least 3 tads in this tank that I know of, so hopefully we'll get froglets from these guys soon. Alright, so here we are in the main frog room, and you might notice I've changed a few things around just a little bit, and I have a ton of tadpoles right now, so should have a good amount of frogs this year. I've slowly been transitioning all my tanks to these front opening tanks rather than your standard aquariums or terrariums. So here's another close-up of a few more of the tadpoles that I've got. These are some tadpoles that are just a few days old. And in all these deli cups here, I've got eggs. This is a grow out for some Ranatamaya. Here's just a few of the froglets that are about ready to come on land. Few more in the back there, and then over here I've got some grow out tanks. This tank's got some azurias, some green sips, some green imitators, some citronella, and then this other grow out to the right of that has some more azurias, some cobalts, and some giant orange. Down here I've got the super blue auratus, and this is my pair of cobalts. Breeding pair there. And over here I've got a bunch of giant orange that I'm trying to grow up to sex out into pairs. There's also an azurias I'm growing out in there. And over here is my group of standard leucomellas. And this tank actually has a group of Colombian auratus as well as a couple of Eldorado pumilio. And then here's more of that tadpole rack. That's got mostly tinctorius tads as well as a few Ranatamaya. And here is my group of Costa Rican Amphibian Research Center vittatus. And they've got a few tadpoles there in the water dish. And down below that, I've got one of my pairs of azurias. And to the left of that, I've got a pair of giant orange. These guys are definitely some of my favorite frogs. And this is actually my oldest pair of azurias here. I think the male in there is about 12. And down below that, I've got a trio of green sips. The big greener one there is the female, and the other two are males. And to the left of that, I've got another pair of Azurius. This is my fine spot female Azurius, and the male is the patternless Azurius that I've got. And up here, I've got a few more grow out tanks. This one's got some Azurius, some Citronellas, and some giant orange. And over here I've got a couple Kotari River tanks that I'm growing up. Hopefully get a pair out of those eventually. And then over here I've got some green sips, some Santa Isabels, and a few Vitatis in there as well. And over here I've got a couple different locales of Imitator, as well as some Azurius froglets. And down below that, I've got my group of Costa Rican green and black Aratus. And over here, this is a grow out tank for some orange Galactinotus. And in this tank, I've got a lone Brazilian yellowhead female. There's a few Punta Laurel Pumilio in there. So I've been trying to transition a lot of my froglets into these 10-gallon grow outs rather than the tubs, although I'll probably still keep the tubs for just really small froglets. And over here I've got a bunch of the front opening tanks. Eventually I'd like to switch everything into those, and as I've been switching them out, I've also been adding in the misting nozzles, just so that it makes it easier to go through and mist everything. I can just flip on a switch. Some nice Markgravia starting to grow in there, and the Vanzolini tank. And this is the Flavo Vittata tank, and over here this is the Banded Imitator tank. Those are all pretty new, but starting to grow in pretty nice. And down below that, my pair of Citronella tanks. Really nice, big, bold Tinctorius species, and just fun to watch. Over here I've got another pair of Azurius. This is a younger pair. They've only been together maybe about a year, but they're producing some really nice froglets so far. And both those tanks are pretty recently planted also. I love how these guys come right up to the front when I feed them. And down here I've got a pair of Patricias. Females right out there in front, and the male went into the cocoa hut there. They've got some eggs in there right now, and I'm pretty close to having some froglets from those guys. And over here, this is another pair of Azurius. Really nice large spots on the female and pretty fine spots on the male. They throw some pretty interesting froglets. And down here I've got a lone male orange Galactinotus. See if I can't get him into camera view. And of course he wants to not be seen right now. But pretty good looking frog. Unfortunately I lost my female. And then here I've got my oldest pair of tinks. These are my powder blues. That guy there on the left is 17 years old. The female over there on the right, she's a little bit younger. I think she's around like 11. And then over here I've got the top two left tanks are standard imitators, and then Veraderos on the right tank. I've got some Cristobal's in that right tank, another pair of powder blues, and some banded imitators. A lone female Azurius there, another pair of Veraderos, and down here I've got my Santa Isabels, and over here I've got some Mantellas. And the Santa Isabel's got a nice big clutch of eggs right here on this leaf. So over here I've got kind of my aquatic rack. These top four tanks house different species of vampire crab. I've got the purple ones in that first tank. There's some baby red devils in this tank. These are what they refer to as like the disco vampire crabs, and then these are the red devil parents, and there are a few more babies in that tank as well. Down below that I've got just a community tank of different tadpoles, and then I've got a few axolotls over in the next tank, and then a few random rescued fish in this tank. Alright, thanks for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed my Frogroom tour. If you have any questions or suggestions for future videos or any comments, make sure you leave those down below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks again for watching, and I'll leave all my links to all my social media in the description down below. Also, don't forget to check out my website, tcsstartfrogs.com. And if you guys want 10% off anything on my website, use the code FROG10. Alright, thanks for tuning in. Have a great day.